with Kelowna Mayor Colin Bazaran. Colin, let's talk about development in the city, specifically hillside development, in particular Thomson Flats. A big issue from a couple of weeks ago, and for some people, a surprising decision in the fact that you said no to a hillside development, and yet Wilden, the ponds, others are still going on. Rationale from your perspective?
Sure. So anyone who's been following council for some time would recognize that we're sort of shifting how we build our community, as are a lot of cities right across North America, because we know that sprawl is costly from a number of different aspects. One, environmentally, because there's no way we can run transit to the outer edges of our community with the frequency needed. And there's also just not the dense population base to be able to support it. So environmentally, it comes with a cost. But then the other big cost is financially to the city and therefore to taxpayers, because it means that we have to run services out there. It means that those services need to be maintained. Council has made a conscious shift in terms of where we want to see our growth into areas that are already developed, where services already exist, where there's a higher population density to help pay for that infrastructure. And we know that by doing that, it's also better environmentally. Those neighborhoods already had area structure plans approved, and we already know how many units are going to be built in those suburban neighborhoods. So we're talking Wilden, Kettle Valley, the Ponds, Kirshner Mountain, Black Mountain, and McKinley. So those areas are already established in our official community plan. So what council has said at this point is, you know what, maybe in the future it's needed, but when you look at how many single family lots are already accounted for in our not only current OCP, but in our new one, we have well over a decade's worth of single family inventory. And that may even stretch out even further if we're successful in this new OCP of getting more people living in our urban core. Who knows? That land could very well be utilized for single family homes in the future. Council just believes now is not the time, particularly for the things I've mentioned.
Never say never, obviously, so you see this as a shift now, but not necessarily a shift 20 years from now.
We're going to need single family homes because that is going to be some people's preference. Not everybody is going to want to live in a condo or a townhouse, and we fully understand that. But what we're saying is that we already have enough inventory that's going to last our city for a number of years.
And while that's your policy, that does not negate a developer who has a piece of land out on a hillside that says, I want to make an application anyway because mine's different.
Correct. But what I can tell you is that certainly it needs to be hopefully in keeping with our official community plan. Although, an official community plan is a living, breathing document that is subject to change on occasion. But no, anyone has the right to apply, certainly. But again, we want to focus a lot of our new growth into our core, which includes our 5 urban centers, because we believe that is the fiscally responsible thing to do, as well as it makes sense from a planning standpoint.